the Nicomachean Ethics of Aristotle.
Read and presented by George Pitropogiannakis.
Book 2, Chapter 8. Now, as there are 3 states in each case, 2 faulty, either in the way of excess or defect, and 1 right, which is the mean state. Of course, all are in a way opposed to one another, the extremes. For instance, not only to the mean, but also to one another, and the mean to the extremes. For just as the half is greater if compared with the less portion, and less if compared with the greater, so the mean states compared with the defects exceed whether in feelings or actions, and vice versa. The brave man, for instance, shows as rash when compared with the coward, and cowardly when compared with the rash. Similarly, to the man of perfected self-mastery, viewed in comparison with the man destitute of all perception, shows like a man of no self-control, but in comparison with the man who really has no self-control, he looks like one destitute of all perception, and the liberal man compared with the stingy seems prodigal, and by the side of the prodigal, stingy. And so the extreme characters push away, so to speak, towards each other, the man in the mean state. The brave man is called a rash man by the coward, and a coward by the rash man, and in the other cases accordingly, and there being this mutual opposition, the contrariety between the extremes is greater than between either and the mean, because they are further from one another than from the mean, just as the greater or less portion differ more from each other than either from the exact half. Again, in some cases, an extreme will bear a resemblance to the mean. Rashness, for instance, to courage, and prodigality to liberality. But between the extremes there is the greatest dissimilarity. Now things which are furthest from one another are defined to be contrary, and so the further off, the more contrary will they be. Further off the extremes, in some cases the excess, and in others the defect, is most opposed to the mean, to courage, for instance, not rashness, which is the excess, but cowardice, which is the defect. Whereas to perfected self-mastery, not insensibility, which is the defect, but absence of all self-control, which is the excess. And for this there are 2 reasons to be given, one from the nature of the thing itself, because from the one extreme, being nearer and more, like the mean, we do not put this against it, but the other. As, for instance, since rashness is thought to be nearer to courage than cowardice is, and to resemble it more, we put cowardice against courage, rather than rashness, because those things which are further from the mean are thought to be more contrary to it. This then is one reason, arising from the thing itself. There is another arising from our own constitution and make. For in each man's own case, those things give the impression of being more contrary to the mean to which we individually have a natural bias. Thus, we have a natural bias towards pleasures, for which reason we are much more inclined to the rejection of all self-control than to self-discipline. These things, then, to which the biases we call more contrary, and so total want of self-control, the excess, is more contrary than that defect is to perfected self-mastery.